Hello, hello, hello. There is a lot to get through today, so I'm going to try to rapid fire through all of this because and we have the in studio audience today.
Hey y'all.
Hey Jay. So hey Substack, hey YouTube, hey TikTok. Let's jump right in. Coming from the AP, Charlie Kirk's Turning Point taps his widow as its next leader. Questions about its future remains. But here's the thing: the money for the founding of Turning Point came from a creepy old man that wanted Charlie Kirk to be the face of basically indoctrinating through debate young minds on college campuses. Charlie Kirk is forever 31 right now. Okay.
Yep.
So to me, they were already in the works of finding somebody else to be the face of Turning Point USA, which is a collegiate organization. Keep this in mind. It does not exist outside of college campuses.
Nope.
And the reason why I believe that they were already in the works of replacing him is because if you remember when the news first broke, they kept reiterating that it was a local chapter president of Turning Point USA that invited Charlie Kirk to come. He, at 31 years old, he was already pushing it. Okay, for giving creeper vibes on a college campus. But his whole shtick, the whole thing around Turning Point USA and conservative values is that women can't lead. Now, I know there are some people online that have pointed that out, but I want to also remind you all of the sheer and utter hypocrisy of the MAGA movement and of the GOP. Because even though they overlap on the Venn diagram, they are two separate entities, okay? They just share some commonalities. Because we've seen women who happen to be GOP politicians get up and talk about how motherhood is the best. Charlie Kirk's bestie, Candace Owens, has said, motherhood is the best. Taking care of home is the best, but she ain't at home taking care of no kids or no house. But let's see what the article says. Turning Point USA, the organization Charlie Kirk founded to mobilize young Christian conservatives, has seen a massive surge in interest and support since the activist assassination last week. Stop using the word assassination. He was just murdered. That's it. It was a murder. That's it. Okay. He was not some great leader. He was not the head of state. He did none of that. Okay. He was a podcaster that wasn't even a good podcaster. He was a debater that wasn't a good debater. He was a grifter that was mediocre at that. He took other people's words, remixed it just like they do over here on TikTok, and put it out and made some coin off of it after he got a creepy old man to come give him some money. I'll be worried about if I'm going to get in the van or not. Somebody should have told Charlie Kirk not to get in the van.
Don't get in the van,
baby. I'm not getting in the van. Jeez. Just keep Candy at home. I asked to see the Candy one time. I didn't get in the van. As conservatives mourn Kirk's death, the group appears poised to remain a MAGA juggernaut as it plots its future without Kirk at the helm. For an organization and a spouse that claims to be so succumb with emotion due to his untimely demise, they sure are moving quickly. And yes, I understand that business needs to go on. And before you all go, but Taz, if you work for any other company, they would have already had his. Yeah, but this was his blood, sweat, and tears, and this is his wife. That's like, oh, we gonna step in. A woman who has purposefully stayed out of the spotlight all this time. Now all of a sudden she don't care about privacy anymore.
She killed him.
When she is now the sole parent to two young children under the age of 10?
She killed him.
The group's board announced Thursday that Kirk's widow, Erica Kirk, had been unanimously elected as its next leader and will serve as CEO and board chair. With what certification? And no, I'm not being funny. As y'all can clearly see, I am a woman. Very proudly, very happily a woman, okay? I'm not being funny. What job has she had? Let alone what position has she held that's been comparable all this time? But everything is merit-based, right? We are looking at an administration full of people who did not have proper qualifications. This about to be a shit show. This about to be a shit show. Either it's gonna be a shit show, or we're gonna find out that Erica was the brains behind all of this from the beginning, and she just married Charlie Kirk to have a figurehead. It's one of those two things. It's one of those two things. This is what Charlie hoped for and wanted, and he said so numerous times. Tyler Boyler, the group's chief operating officer, said on social media, Erica is one with Charlie, and Charlie is one with Erica. When did Charlie say that he wanted a woman to take over? Only thing I've heard Charlie say about women is for them to cook, be subservient, and be breeders. When has Charlie and Erica been one? Turning Point became a multi-million-dollar operation under Charlie Kirk's leadership and was credited with helping to return President Donald Trump to office. Since Kirk's killing, his podcast and social media have attracted millions of new followers. Yeah, because we talked about it earlier this week and last week, how Turning Point is currently posting off of Charlie's personal social media accounts, which is creepy. And my thing is, where's does his family like him? Because this would be traumatizing to family. You just had yet they ain't even had the funeral yet. The funeral is this Sunday. There was a viewing with just the wife so she could have a photo op. Don't even try to question me on that. You got eyes. You saw what was going on. And if you didn't, Google is free. But they're not traumatized by this. Like, understanding business, okay? I've had family members who own businesses. I've had family members atop of boards. I've had family members head of churches. And yes, those things still have to go on. But you post from the business account, the church account, the foundation account, not the person's personal account. Just like I got questions regarding Tyler Robinson, the suspected killer. First of all, hire his family and friends to be the Secret Service, because they can keep a secret more than Beyonce and her family and friends. Nobody said nothing. Nobody is out here trying to give an interview like, oh yeah, I knew him. I went to school with him. Nobody said anything like, yeah, I knew about the relationship between him and da-da-da. And oh yeah, I was in a Discord server. Nothing. Only the pastor wanted to turn him in. The parents ain't said nothing since. They ain't said the parents cooperating, but the parents allegedly convinced him to talk to the pastor. The pastor convinced him to turn himself in. Then they're sitting there talking about, oh, he was nervous. He thought the cops was going to shoot him. Like, nothing makes sense. But nobody got nothing to say. Nobody can confirm this relationship. Nobody can explain why the roommate / romantic interest in him are writing telenovelas back and forth to each other, but they live in the same spot. I can understand texting each other when you're both not in the house. But if it's something important, why are you texting it? And why are you texting such detail about a crime? To turn around and be like, can you delete that, please? Especially being a groiper. Groipers understand that they can say some fucked up shit and they don't want to be caught up. They don't want the consequences behind it. But okay, I guess we supposed to just act like this the first relationship we done ever heard of, and this just the way love goes, I guess.
He started working for his parents' ice company. They have an ice company here in Stephen. He settled right back in, but the boy who
now,
Beaver Cleaver had clearly,
I think we're all pretty clear on Trump believing that he has these close romances / friendships with so many different world leaders. He's currently in the UK getting heckled from the rooter to the tutor, being disrespectful to King Chuck the Cuck. But Trump really thinks that he has this bravado, like he can really tell people what to do and they're going to listen. Trump, you can't even tell Melania what to do and she listens. Okay, this heifer pops up when you give her a bonus or she feels like she can look good or she can hobnob and network with other people. Or if she thinks somebody might give her refuge in a non-extraditing country. Like, but, and just in case the MAGA maniacs come in here, this is coming from foxnews.com. We use all, we go everywhere to get news. And since y'all, you're so biased, you only Trump, Putin has really let me down on Ukraine peace efforts. Why? Oh, that's right. Trump, you were the only one that believed him. We all know that if Putin's mouth is moving, he's a lying. Kind of like Trump. We all know that if your lips are moving, you are, say it with me, class, a lying. Zelensky announces Patriot and HIMARS missiles coming as Trump shifts from congressional funding to allied contributions. Not to mention, Trump is now learning that while he's over there having his history, Trump makes history for all the wrong reasons, by the way, but he's making his historic second state visit with the UK. And the British royalty are trying to flex because they know that Trump has an obsession with royalty, with aristocracy. So they're like, let's make him feel like a king for a day. And then maybe he'll stop this tariff crap with us and we can get things rolling and he'll be an ally to us. Like for real, because we know you got to stroke the ego, but he's kind of stupid. So, give him something sparkly and we might get over on it. But at the same time, the rest of Europe is like, how can we help Ukraine? Because we tired of Putin and all of him. Okay? But Trump is like, bouncy ball. They love me. Yeah, I'm the greatest. They love me. And melanoma is like, bitch, I don't even love you. Your mama didn't. Your sperm doesn't even love you. The skin on your body doesn't love you. Your hair's been trying to run away since 1987. It doesn't love you. Okay, hygiene doesn't love you. It's been playing hide and seek since 1973 with you. But okay. President Donald Trump said Thursday he's been let down by his relationship with Russian President Vladimir Putin. That's not a relationship when somebody carries around blackmail material on you and they celebrate all of your triumphs by plastering your naked wife's porn on state-run television. That's not a friend. You ain't got a friend in him. Ain't got a friend in him. The one I thought would be easiest would be because of my relationship with President Putin. You don't have one, Trump. Trump said during a joint press conference in London with United Kingdom Prime Minister Keir Starmer. But he's let me down. He's really let me down. Was going to be Russia and Ukraine, but we'll see how that turns out. First of all, Trump, we knew that he wasn't going to do anything. This is why when the European Avengers assembled on the White House, and Zelensky was like, hey, can you set up a historic sit down between me and Putin and you be the middleman since you keep saying you could end this shit like that and that he listens to you and you had a meeting with him in Alaska, what he wants back, like make it happen. Just put me in a room with him. Zelensky said, just put me in the room with me. Just put me in, coach. And he was like, well, we'll see. Like, I'll call him and ask him and we'll see. Yeah, we know that you're his bitch, okay? He got his hand so far up you, Elmo, it's coming out your nostrils. His fingers are coming out your nostrils, okay? I don't know why you thought it was going to be easier. Putin wants more land. Putin thinks that he is Stalin 2.0. In Russian guard, you can make him Stalin 2.0 in one particular regard. Research Stalin's final meal. Putin has the same rule for his guards that Stalin had for his guards. A little history ain't never hurt nobody, okay? Just
That's
mhm,
illegal because of
mhm,
age. You had
mhm,
previous relationships.
mhm, mhm,
Other boyfriends.
mhm.
What's he different? Something after she was
Secret Service
boyfriends.
research Stalin's last meal. And remember, unless Trump calls out for help, you ain't got to help. Months of U.S. led peace negotiations, including an Alaska summit between Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin, have not led to breakthroughs in ending the war in Ukraine. No shit, Sherlock. Yes. But that rises from Putin. Of course it's not. Everybody knew that Putin wasn't going to give up anything, especially after Putin has been letting this administration do the dirty work for him and allowing them to look stupid. Like that whole thing in the Oval where Vance was trying to buck up and posture in front of Zelensky. If Zelensky would have just taken a big enough inhale, Vance would have fallen over on the floor and probably creamed his pants. I don't know, allegedly. 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 And that whole presser with the between Trump and Starmer. First of all, I don't know if y'all have noticed, Trump has lost a lot of weight just since January. Trump is getting that what I call post heart attack look. Y'all know how like after somebody's had a heart attack, their skin looks a little different. There's a massive weight loss, and they're kind of fumbly, like in their movements for a while because it's not like a gradual weight loss where you learn how to carry your body a little bit different and stuff like that.
She says, no,
Hands don't matter. You're right. You're right. They don't. But yeah, so sums up with Trump. And Starmer was like Trump. Trump. Trump is the type of white guy that I keep telling y'all that I got. Like they were all in my face when I lived in Frankfort, Kentucky. Because these are the guys that will have a conversation with somebody and then tell you, oh, yeah, that's my good friend, bro. I sat here and watched y'all meet each other for the first time. And they'll clamor, oh, you want to do something, like they're trying to force situations. Because watching Trump today, like Starmer's trying to talk and he like hitting him on the shoulder and patting him and leaning over and trying to fist bump.
She said she was so desperate.
And Farmer's just like, Farmer, do you know what's in that diaper? Do you know how often they change that diaper? Because they to try to figure out who's going to change him. I don't even want to imagine. What does Miss Dominique say on here? Imagine what gets released from his body. Because his diet is, and I'm not saying I'm the healthiest person on the planet, but cold KFC, cold Big Macs, and Diet Coke. Trump has the diet that we used to make fun of. Okay? Where you see somebody order the whole menu and think that they can counteract it with the diet soda. And I'm not talking about the diabeticals out there that have to have the diet sodas. No, 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 no. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all have encountered that person. They really act like that diet soda is going to just chomp away at everything that they just put in their system. They just sit there just eating, going, bitch, you doing a good job, bitch. No, bitch, you about to make the funeral director do a good job. This what you about to do. Okay? You are a walking billboard for Walker Funeral Home. Oh, yes, 40,000. 40,000 leagues under his fupa. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Now, all of y'all are familiar with people completely wreaking havoc on Charlie Kirk's legacy, rewriting history and making this man's entire adult life for naught. Everything that he worked for, everything, the legacy that he's left in his digital footprint, people are working overtime to make his life a waste of time, a waste of space. And I don't think that has sunk into them yet. Like Charlie Kirk might as well have sat home and played video games from 19 to 31 and just happened to stumble into a mass shooting at this point. Because they are erasing everything that he stood for and rewriting, redacting, and whitewashing. They're whitewashing a white man. But as they're doing that and they're trying to get people fired for doing what they say they love about Charlie Kirk, utilizing their freedom of speech, and they're like, oh, you all are so horrible. This is why we can't unite. We should unite. We should take this time to unite. You know, Charlie Kirk was what? Death 10,000 this year by gun violence? But y'all didn't want to unite the other 10,000, the other 9,999. So, coming from AAL.com, Tuberville says unity is a mistake after Charlie Kirk murder. There's no healing with the left. Quick question.
Nearly 20 years later,
Question.
he's living in Round Rock, Texas, with a wife.
What the left got to do with this?
Working as a training supervisor and a food wholesaler.
But,
little did he know.
And before you go, the Times, Tyler was in a queer relationship, was he? Because who's confirmed it?
The detective concluded the man
his roommate / lover's picture has been plastered everywhere, and it's the same picture that's been on that person's Instagram since like 2023. Like it is not recent, and there are other pictures. They're intentionally choosing that. This person ain't said nothing. This person has not even posted on social media like this year, from what I've seen. If they did, then they removed it. Nobody. And are y'all forgetting gays for Trump? The Lincoln Republicans, lesbians for Trump, how they want to have normal gays, queers for Trump. Like, people are still individuals. People can still make choices. And there are people who consistently choose to vote against and put out rhetoric against themselves and how they live. Look at the majority of the Republican Party. Every time they gather, every time there's more than 3 gather, Grindr is in the vicinity, and it crashes. Like, so let's stop that. Just because they spew something, they like to hide in the shadows like they're freaking Darkwing Duck. We know that they like to be bent and do the bending. All right. Stop looking for, no, until somebody tells you or shows you where they stand politically and socially, there's really no way to just guess. You have to actually talk to them. We have not heard from Tyler. We've seen him and he looks pretty sedated to me. Correct me if I'm wrong. Tell me what you see. But we ain't heard nothing from him. We know that he comes from a staunch conservative family. They support Trump. So you're going to tell me he was in a queer relationship with a trans individual in this highly conservative, multi-generational conservative Mormon Christian family. And his mama knew about this at least, but nobody had a problem with it. $25,000 in life insurance. Now is the time to call the number on your screen and lock in your rate. Leave your family with a financial protection to help cover funeral costs, medical bills, however they need. I don't know who at the FBI is still in college and needs a creative writing credit, because looking at those text messages, that's what it looks like to me. Okay, it looks like they trying to become a screenwriter or a playwright somewhere. Keep working on it, Booski, because ain't none of that shit. No. You must have got a boomer to write that. Okay, you must have got a boomer to write that. Not too many no abbreviations. No, and when you are in a relationship with somebody, or you've been friends with somebody for a while, or even with your siblings, you kind of develop your own language where y'all can say stuff to each other that will mean complete nonsense to other people, Or people like, were they going to get lunch? Were they going to get? And then you people got to explain it. There's none of that in these text messages. And why is every conversation they're having through text? Y'all in the same house and y'all just sitting there.
Local police station, Miller and a fellow detective took Hadley back to 1987.
I'm hearing impaired and I don't text as much as they do if they're in a relationship.
We all knew that he did.
And that's got to be annoying. You know what? Let's check. Babe,
Huh?
would you be annoyed if
I'm
instead?
going there. What? No, I'm just playing. I'm playing.
Would you be annoyed if every time I had something to say to you, I texted to you and made you text me back?
Are we sitting in the same room?
Yes.
Yes.
I know it's one thing if I'm upstairs, but
Yes.
thank you. That would be really weird.
I didn't know we could share a live with me and I'm sitting right next to you.
Well, we're in a lot of the same groups. It's not intentional. The studio audience, ladies and gentlemen, give him a round of applause for class participation. Yeah, it's so weird. But U.S. Senator Tommy Tuberville blamed the political left for the murder, I'm not saying that other word, of Charlie Kirk Tuesday in an interview on the Jesse Kelly show, and said he didn't see much to gain in trying to see common ground with what he said to be a radical movement. Here's the thing. Unless I die protesting or by police violence or something like this, don't politicize my death. Don't say that you care about me and keep bringing me up as a weapon and a shield against someone you don't agree with politically. Do not use me to get elected. Do not use me to sustain an elected position that you've acquired, because that's not respect. And do not use me to lie. We need to get to a point where we get sick and tired of being sick and tired, and we start letting these politicians know everywhere, regardless of the political party, because from the grassroots up to the federal level, there's a multitude of political parties that are in office. So stop saying that we're under a two-party system. Just on the federal level, we're on a two-majorative system. That's it, okay? Because the temperance party still exists. Libertarians still exist. We all sit here and get annoyed by the cicada that is Jill Stein every 4 years when it's time for the race for POTUS Mountain. We know that there's more than two parties. Stop saying it. This is why they bank on things and don't really give us platforms anymore and don't really work on giving us anything, because they know, just like the fake Christians in this country, they can say a few buzzwords and we're like, yeah, that's Democrat right there. Yeah, that's a Republican right there. Yeah, I'm for them. The fuck? You're allowing yourself to be governed by buzzwords and clip farms. But it's time to let them know that you know that they're lying. It's time to hold them to the fire. And if they can't deliver and they're going to keep lying and spending their time lying instead of doing their jobs, let them know we know. We are facing yet the possibility of another government shutdown by the end of September. What has been going on Capitol Hill? Not a vote, not a negotiating on a budget, not seeing what needs to be funded, as the Trump administration is spending more money than we could even print. Okay? Trump administration, stop throwing it in the bag. Okay? We is not, the United States is not TI. You can't have whatever you like. Put it back. Okay? We got to shop at the dollar store with a coupon right now. You went too far. No, we're having to have meetings, necessary meetings regarding RFK Jr. screwing up our health care and once again trying to remove things from the well-being of children. We're having to have meetings on Capitol Hill because we have an incompetent podcaster, well, two of them, running the FBI. We have to keep having meetings because we still haven't filled all of the vacant positions that require nominations and confirmation hearings. Y'all do realize that we still don't have a complete overwhelming overall federal government. We don't. We still have ambassadorships that are not filled. The list. We have to keep doing that. And they're not even willing to do that properly. They're trying to, have their gotcha moments on both sides of the aisle. Some people are really doing their job and asking the hard-hitting questions. Other people, Cory Booker, looking at your bitch ass, are just, look at me, remember me, and this history that I'm making for when I'm ready to try to be Barack Obama 2.0. Hold on, nobody wants you. Okay? Take your Timu Obama ass on somewhere else, because you're doing more posturing than the fucking Republicans. I don't want another hot air balloon behind the Resolute desk. If that's what y'all want, you can like it, you can love it, but I'm not going to be behind it. Number one. Number two. They are using Kirk's death and trying to martyr him and calling him the 13th disciple, just blasphemous, top to bottom, okay? Rooted to the tutor. And also trying to shield Trump and themselves. Because they brought up some files that a good chunk of the country did not know existed. And now they don't want to release them. And now everything is a war on the right. Please. The right ain't never been silent. The right has never been a victim, but they've been victimizers. Like, oh yeah, the 13th disciple. And then somebody was like, well, I guess he would have been Judas's homeboy. Let me explain something to y'all. Judas at least knew the words.
And the father of two hardly seemed like a cold-blooded killer. He had talked a lot about, wait and don't judge until all the facts come out.
The only word Kirk knew was pay me or I'll pay for it. Or I should say pay me so I can pay for it.
Did you know what he meant by that? I just felt like he was going to say that him and Susan had found.
No, we're not going to act like there wasn't no ladies of the night in the Bible.
Consensual sexual relationship.
But we also not going to act like Jesus the Christ was like, meet me at 6:35 behind the temple for a good time. Nah, he wasn't. Okay? He wasn't out here going, let me go temple to temple and argue with the rabbis and say some egregious stuff to the rabbis. And then let me go find the pagans and meet them underneath their tents and just mess with them for no good reason. No. And Charlie Kirk did not position himself as a religious leader. But as always, in the United States, the faux Christians, all you have to do is just be like, I'm a Christian. I just want a good traditional Christian family. And people eat it up. They eat it up. They act like you are the return of Christ. Like you are the second coming. Like, do y'all even crack the Bible open? Like, even at church? Or do you have one of them ministers that's a speaker?
What's more, investigators found evidence on Scott's computer showed he had disturbing interests.
All right, coming from news break. South Park creators issue statement after canceling new episode. Less than 12 hours before it was set to air, Comedy Central canceled another new episode of South Park. Why? Because if it was one of our black authors, one of our melanated authors, y'all would let it rip. And then disrupt our funerals, shoot up our headstones, wait 10 years, and then blow up the grave. And no, I'm not exaggerating or being facetious. You can look up those things. All of those things have happened to black graves, black grave sites, black memorials by white people. On September 17th, creators Matt Stone and Trey Parker announced that the satire series was missing another week and they accepted full responsibility for the letdown. Why? You got a crystal ball? Are y'all do y'all got that Etsy witch in the back?
But just before the trial was to begin,
In Jezebel magazine, just hit me up, DM me, email me, call me, girl. I need to know who that Etsy witch is. I got a few questions. I would like to interview her. We can black out her face and everything. Okay, we'll do it on the nightly podcast. But I got some questions. I got some questions. It's like I'm 50 Cent. I just got 21 questions. Apparently, when you do everything at the last minute, sometimes you don't get it done, they said, per deadline. This one's on us. We didn't get it done on time. Thanks to Comedy Central and South Park fans for being so understanding. Tune in next week. Oh, they must have had a series. They must have had a series ready that involved Charlie Kirk. Because you mean you ain't get it done? Much to fans' dismay, South Park is only airing 10 new installments this season, and they're releasing the episodes every other week. They will now drop the remaining 6 on September 24th, October 15th, October 29th, November 12th, November 26th, and December 10th. All episodes will air at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard / Pacific Time. According to the publication, the delay came as writers were finding the right tone and approach to addressing current events. Address it like you address every damn thing else. Why do we, you know what? I know why we got the pussyfoot around, because he white. Uppercase Gums is white, lily white, with a eugenics princess of a damn white. So you got to act like, he's a new deity for the world. Like, is he going to be the new Hare Krishna? Is the Church of Kirk about to start? You know what? As a matter of fact, start the Church of Kirk. Start the Church of Kirk. If you want the truth to truly come out about what happened to that man, start the Church of Kirk. Because all the attention that Charlie Kirk is getting right now, it's just a matter of time before Trump has a fucking hissy fit because people ain't talking about him. He wants people to not talk about the Epstein Maxwell files, but he wants people to still talk about him because, narcissism, ego. Okay, he ain't got nothing else going for him. Okay, he had the tweezers don't work. When he trying to fish out and find his little thing amongst the sea of shit stew in his depends. Go ahead. Start the Church of Charlie Kirk. Y'all done already said he the 13th disciple and all that. Yeah, go ahead. Peter, Paul, and Charlie. PPC. I bet you Trump, there will be some files Trump will release, and he'll be so pissed off he might. Cash Patel and my Bongino, they'll be happy. They'll accidentally throw in some Epstein Maxwell files too. Like, oops, that wasn't a part of the investigation. No. I mean, he was on college campuses, and there's some college girls in here. Go ahead, start it. Get that party started now.
How's it going, honey?
They wouldn't get another Tom Cruise lawsuit because the problem is everything about Charlie Kirk right now hit the Wayback Machine. Tom Cruise is just a bitch. Oh, in case you all missed it yesterday, coming from Straight Arrow News, DOJ quietly deletes study on far-right extremists. Trump announces Republican convention ahead of midterms. But yes, there was a study that was released saying what we all know, that it's far-right extremists that resort to violence. Because who has normalized it? Who has rewarded it? Who has made excuses behind it? Let's not forget that they're saying it's disrespectful for people to not be bawling their eyes out for bitch-ass Charlie Kirk. But there were full-grown ass adults that are parents that said that school mass shootings, quite a few of them, were hoaxes. The head of the FBI did not know who Dylan Roof was. The head of the FBI that was in charge of the investigation into the white bastard who was rewarded with Burger King after going into a church and murdering multiple black people who were there to study the word of God. And catch up, well, you know, and have a lot of my So the Trump administration's Department of Justice has removed a study from its website that found far-right extremists are responsible for more ideologically motivated homicides than far-left or Islamic extremists. The move comes as some Republicans, namely President Donald Trump, have spoken out about the harm the left has caused to our nation in the wake of the assassinated murder of Republican political activist Charlie Kirk. Here's the thing. We are weeks removed from the attack with firearms of multiple politicians in Minnesota. We are not that far removed from a kidnapping attempt on a Democratic governor. We're not that far removed from a Democratic governor over Passover this year having their home set on fire while them and their family were in it. We're not that far removed from Paul Pelosi being attacked by a hammer. But the left is so violent. Did you forget about Trump's self-coup, aka the January 6th insurrection?
But it was pure rage. It was.
But here's the thing. I need y'all to also think this administration is incredibly stupid. Because remember, they removed it from the official DOJ website as if they did the study and that's the only place you can find it. They're like, oh, if you remove it, nobody can find it. The reason why they did it is because the hardcore, staunch sycophants that love to lie so that they can finally feel smart, they love to go, well, it's not on the White House website, so that's not a viable, it's not a credible source that you're giving me. We're all they act as if they don't understand how websites can be linked to one another.
I'm sure
but you know,
the bathroom in my mind.
Why have good sense? Then we have heightened, forced immigration, kidnappings, detainees, self-deportations, and forced deportations. Because, you know, the administration says they just want to get rid of the bad element, the criminals, the ones that don't belong here. Da, 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 da. Okay. Hey, lovely. But if the whole thing is we want good people here, we want a strong economy, we want a strong, safe society, why, coming out of the Los Angeles Times, is this: Trump administration moves to make U.S. citizenship harder with revised civics test. I don't know how many of y'all know this, but immigrants, what they're tested on, most of y'all aren't even taught in school. And what you are taught on, you don't have to pass those tests with as high marks as the immigrants coming in. Immigrants have to know more about this country than the people who were born here, than the people who act like they don't want anybody else to come here. The same people that go, immigration is bad, take a breath, and then tell you about their mother, their father, their meemaw, their papa, who came over here, couldn't speak English, had a handful of coins, utilized welfare, and made it through the ranks.
Mm-hmm.
And now they want to make it harder. But you goofy motherfuckers still don't understand that the DOJ is nonpartisan.
Preach, sister.
Y'all don't understand that the Federal Reserve is nonpartisan. It's not a private company. And you goofy motherfuckers are really running around here talking about, when the United States lost its sovereignty in 1913. I'm going to need you to, one, define sovereignty. Define sovereignty. And you goofy motherfuckers that are like, well, the United States is a business and the country should be run like a business.
Two, shut the fuck up.
Put the lotion on or get slapped the fuck out. Because I'm tired of y'all at this point. I'm tired of y'all. Y'all got the audacity to sit here and say somebody else is not qualified because of the color of their skin and you don't know how anything works. Y'all don't even know what your children are being taught in school. This is why it's so easy for people to fill you with hate and have you filling up school board meetings and PTOs over shit that doesn't exist. Y'all know school shootings are a thing. Is that y'all won't pass legislation and make these babies safe and be able to be educated. Teachers, administrators, volunteers took it upon themselves to create portable potties in the event that the school is on lockdown and you have to be locked down in your classroom. And y'all were like, yep, furries. Do you know what the fuck a furry is? No, you don't. You're out here thinking that teachers are indoctrinating your kids. When every start of the school year, we're begging and pleading that you please get as much on the supply list as you possibly can, because we know midway through you're going to be coming up there going, oh, I'm a little short, but little Johnny's out of pencils, but you didn't want to buy pencils at the beginning of the year. So we have to have a job on the side to get supplies for your crotch goblins, your coitus coins. Okay, we didn't get no enjoyment out of that. We don't get no tax break off of what you brought into the world. But then you want to follow us around and we have a little sippy sip of wine out at dinner off the clock talking about what we shouldn't be doing. Maybe you should stop sucking less dick and go see what little Johnny is doing.
Shit.
They out here building fucking bombs, but can't put 2 + 2 together.
2 + 2.
You think that we have the time to indoctrinate? No. Guess what? It's y'all indoctrinating. You all will take your kids to go see Charlie Kirk. You all know that your kids are watching Nick Fuentes and Ben Shapiro and everything else, and you're not explaining to them how dangerous that is, or that diversity is needed, or they are a part of the diverse class, or they need inclusion, or they need equity. But no.
To make sure that he's still there. So that probably living with that fear, right?
Do as many standardized tests that they make us stop and teach how to pass and the material on there. And then we got to double time to get the actual curriculum out and then backtrack because parents don't want to help their kids at home. And some of y'all can't help a kid because you can't even help yourself. And you think we're trying to indoctrinate? Let me say this, and I love my students, okay? And I got students from all different age brackets, but let me say something to this. I don't care if you take offense or not, okay? Don't nobody like your kids that damn much, okay? Don't nobody want to spend extra time with your kids. The only one that wants to spend extra time with your kids are doing very bad things to your kids, okay? They're not putting indoctrination into them. Catch what I'm putting down? We don't like your kids that much. We don't. And the thing about it is, indoctrinating them into, if we was indoctrinating kids, we would have been paid back. Okay, we would have indoctrinated them into how to vote so that we could get paid properly. Okay, so all the money don't go just to the principals and to the new football field and the basketball stuff. Like, no, it'll be something we could benefit from. The fuck do we benefit from by creating more LGBTQIA plus? Like, first of all, you can't create that. I mean, through birth you can, but yeah, that's a conversation for another day. Like, what the fuck? What do we gain? There's not a big coalition of teachers like, we're going to take over the world. Yeah.
Yes.
This is a labor of love. You're not getting rich off this shit. You're getting a lot of stress.
This is a bigger negative.
A lot.
If I did an interview, y'all gonna turn me.
You get fewer times to fuck up than even our convict ass president, and then you're out of a job, and not just out of a job at one institution, a whole district or a whole state or a whole part of the country can blacklist you. Oh, and don't let a gaggle of fucking Karens decide they don't like you. And let's not forget, even though they tend to get the information wrong more than not, Turning Point USA is like, oh, you don't like your professor? Your professor isn't suckling up to you and bowing down to what you want? Put him on the watch list. And then they attack and attack and attack till either you get fired, you get so many death threats that you have to move. The fuck? Who got time? Don't nobody care about little Becky, Sue, and Billy Bob. Okay, we need them to read, write, do a little arithmetic, and get the fuck away from us. Your kids ain't as smart as you think they are. You think that they are cute. They are annoying as hell. We don't want to hear about how y'all arguing over the special toys. No more. Okay? We don't want to hear about who forgot about whose anniversary. No more. We don't want to know that your sister or your mother sneaking in and out the windows at night. Yeah, your kids know all about that. Okay? They the biggest gossips in the room. They think they Wendy Williams 2.0, and we be trying to be like, no, don't tell your parents' business. But then you cuss us out. We like, you know what? Show and tell. Tell the class. Tell the class what's going on. The fuck? And you think we indoctrinate? It's not the conversations they overhear you on the phone, in person, the stuff that you say at the grocery store. It's not the TV shows that you put on with them sitting right there. It's not the movies that you watch with them sitting right there. It's not the music that you play in the car the whole time. It's not them watching you attack people for just existing online. It's not you refusing to put any energy or effort into anything, but blaming people who are different from you for your kids not having stuff. You don't think that's the reason why your kids are now doing what they're doing? Or realizing their parents are dumb as fuck? Your kids know that you're lazy pieces of shit. They know that it's not Jamal and Keisha's fault that you didn't get that promotion. They know that you're trying to use them as slave labor. We're not doing the indoctrination. You are. It's just not going in the direction you thought it would go. Because nowadays your children can compare in real time that you're full of shit, that you're a liar, that you can't be trusted, that you won't protect them. They can get online and be like, wait a minute. Ketanji Brown Jackson, she actually meets the qualifications to be a Supreme Court justice. How did Gorsuch get in there? Wait a minute. Alito got what time? They can research and find out that the most qualified and most educated first lady in the history of this country was the black lady. Was the black lady. You sitting there talking about, well, you know, the darkies, they use up all the welfare. They can get online and see a whole side of every social media platform of wealthy black women being taken care of, black women on all these vacations, doing it for themselves, black men doing it for themselves. You can't lie to them like that. We aren't indoctrinating anybody. It's our job to provide them with the truth and give them the skills, hopefully, fingers crossed, to be a productive member in society in addition to what you teach them. But I can't say this enough. And like I said, get offended if you want. Don't nobody like your kids that much. And a lot of y'all got very unlikable kids. Like very unlikable. And newsflash, a lot of these mass shootings, a lot of all of this indoctrination into these pipelines wouldn't happen if you would invest in paying attention to your children, invest in your children, and correct your children instead of just housing them. They're miserable because you're telling them that they're great and everybody else is missing out on being around them. And it's causing them not to work on themselves, not to have confidence, and them trying to force their awkwardness, their meanness, their callousness onto other people. Hell no, I don't want to be around your little cum guzzler who thinks insulting people is the way to go. There was a young lady on TikTok that talked about a friend of hers. Well, not a friend of hers, a classmate of hers in high school. They discovered that they were seeing the same therapist because I guess their appointments were back to back, and they sometimes chat in the waiting room just between them. And there was one time, you know, this person didn't have very many friends, and the young lady was like, "Yeah, I was a little concerned. Like, would he like snap one day and shoot up our school?" Said the one day, you know, right before school was ending, he was like, "Yeah, my parents this summer they're gonna send me to to go be with some extended family members. And here's the thing. Kudos to the parents, but these are some bitch ass parents. They sent that child away for other people to do what they should have done up until that point. Came back the next year, meet up in the waiting room again, and she's like, "Oh, you look different. You know, you seem a lot happier." And he's like, "Yeah, I learned I was insufferable. I was not fun to be around." My extended family members were like, hell no, we're not dealing with this. Like, what are you into? Like, switch it up, because we're not just going to deal with you doing this, that, and the other, and we don't have to cater to you. We're not Destiny's Child, Brewski. And when he got it together, got some confidence, got friends, ended up having a long-term girlfriend far after they graduated high school, according to what the creator said. And I'm like, that's it. You are leaving. You want this weird, unrealistic thing. You don't want anybody to discipline your children or give your children advice because you say that's indoctrination. But you don't want to raise the kids, and you expect other people to raise the kids, but without giving them any type of rules or guidance or anything else. So I don't know how that's supposed to work. And you keep thinking that the way to having a well-rounded child that will become a well-rounded adult is just by saying, "Oh, you don't have to change. Everybody else around you is supposed to change." Now, I want you to think of how do you have a society full of parents telling all of these kids, you don't have to change. Other people should change for you. So who's doing the changing? So you just got people going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And the prime example of that is where we are today. Fuentes v. Kirk v. Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens. All these people who refuse to change, who've been told, "You're the prettiest girl, you're the goodest boy, you don't have to do anything." And they're clamoring for attention and notoriety. They all want to be told that they are the moral superior, that they are the best of the best of the best with the least amount of energy or effort and the most pats on the back. And when is this going to stop? Because this has been what's the next escalation? Because I think y'all forgot, but Tazzy Farms doesn't forget. Okay, Tazzy Farms remembers when a manifesto came out. Now, it was one of those heavily plagiarized, adapted, meme-riddled manifestos, but I don't expect anything less nowadays in the age of AI. But it also quoted Candace Owens. And there was another one that quoted, like it goes from quoting to then, "Oh, I'm going to take my favorite saying or the favorite meme I attribute to this person. I'm going to put it on the bullets. I'm going to put it on the gun." And now it's like, okay, you know what? I'm going to start shooting the other talking heads that I don't like, because my talking head needs to be the only one anybody listens to. Are you finally going to go for legislation and making a change when it's the person behind the resolute that gets it? And I know we don't like Trump, but it may not be Trump that will be the first political example of that level. We have to look ahead. Because even though these people tend to be steeped in incel and internet culture, they're still paying attention through the pundits that they're consuming the content of who's likable, who's not, who's dead, who's harming, will get them that notoriety, that infamy that they want, whose death will cause the change that they desire, whose death will make their person, whose death will benefit their person. Let's face it, often Trump would do what? Would do what? Other than start the biggest block party this floating third rock from the sun has ever seen. He said, "This is Mike, give me a call. Something's happened to Sherry."
All kinds of terrible things entered Carlene's mind.
Was she in an accident? Did she have an appendix attack?
Carlene called Mike back, and in an instant, her fears.
So we have to think.
Even worse.
He said, "She's gone."
Is it going to take our commander-in-chief pissing off somebody's favorite pundit and being sent to the upper room for people to finally stop lying and start taking politics seriously again. To stop treating politics, like I've said for years now, as if it's the World Series of Capitol Hill games.
Hi, this is Marie. I'm looking for life insurance. I just lost my sister, and I saw her family struggle with the bills, the funeral. I don't want my own family.
Like I said, this has been the long game. Because it wasn't last year, it wasn't a couple months ago. Like I said, when it started with Candace Owens' name being placed in the manifesto. No, this has been a. I don't think y'all realize that these incels are in it to play the long game. I've seen their message boards. I've seen their posts. I've encountered some of them face to face in real life. They are okay with playing the extreme long game. The extreme long game. And they start being indoctrinated as preteens.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This means everything to me.
Policies start at $6.38 per month. With most
And to help with the indoctrination,
and best of all, your rate will
some of y'all thought that I was being a little facetious and a little paranoid. No, when I said that Trump and Elon Musk are red pill incels, I was not joking. I was not exaggerating anything. Because Trump is that intellectual level where he is easily swayed. And we know that the people around him love to lie to him. But Trump recently stated that he's designating Antifa, yes, the ideology of anti-fascism, with everyone who fought in World War II from the United States proclaimed themselves to be anti-fascist, whether they were or not. They gave their lives to be anti-fascist. They gave their able bodies to be anti-fascist. He's designating them a terrorist organization. How do you designate an ideology a terrorist organization? You just believe that the ideology is an organization, because if you say it enough, it must be true. I wonder if they click their heels together 3 times as they say it. Antifa's an organization. Antifa's an organization. Antifa's an organization. I swear. President Donald Trump said he is designating the far left anti-fascism movement, Antifa, as a terrorist organization, announcing the move on his Truth Social, Truth Goes to Die platform in the early hours of Thursday morning UK time. He fights work. He fights work more than a Section 8 white stay-at-home mom who wants the internet to believe that she's a millionaire and her blue-collar husband loves her down.
He had good manners. When I told him, what her curfew was, she was in on target.
It wasn't immediately clear what mechanism Trump would use to make the designation, and Antifa lacks centralized structure or defined leadership, making it unclear who or what precisely would be targeted. But I need y'all to realize, I am pleased to inform our many USA patriots that I am designating Antifa a sick, dangerous, radical left disaster as a major terrorist organization, Trump wrote. I will also be strongly recommending that those funding Antifa be thoroughly investigated in accordance with the highest legal standards and practices. Thank you for your attention to this matter. He must have been up in the wee hours watching Law and Order to be able to write something like that.
Just about.
And really, he wants to investigate George Soros. And they have made George Soros the boogeyman for anything that is progressive, anything that is for the people. But here's the thing. While they're screaming because of what's going on in Palestine and Israel, they're like, oh, everything is anti-Semitic. Everything is anti-Semitic. This is going to be a crime because we got to crack down on anti-Semitism. Did they forget? George Soros is, say it with me, class, he's what? Let me hear it. Let me hear it. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. They're mad because there's a Jewish man who's not Zionist, wants equity, because, having a history of enduring something as horrific as either chattel slavery and or the Holocaust. And I say and or because there are people who did survive chattel slavery, moved, and then ended up caught up their descendants in the Holocaust. They love to focus on the pale-skinned Jewish individuals and no one else. They like to focus on the straight individuals and no one else. Jewish is an ethno religion. You can join the religion should you do the things at any point and from any ethnicity, any race. You can be born into it. And you can be the ethnicity and not a part of the religion. Because they're all Christian Jewish people. You know, the OG followers of Jesus the Christ.
Let her mind go to a very dark place.
I was concerned that Sherry was maybe abducted or.
Yeah, that's what they want to do. All these people that are like, we're pro-Israel, we're pro-Jew. No, they're not. They're not. That's why most people don't teach you the difference between anti-Judaism and anti-Semitism.
They found neither blood nor signs of any struggle. Police also pulled Target security video, and there was Sherry.
Once again, that's a conversation for another day.
Exiting the store at 9.
A White House official told CNN, this is just one of many actions the president will take to address left-wing organizations that fuel political violence.
Saw something else.
What left-leaning organization called for blanket pardons? What left-leaning organization said, hey, we're going to meet at this place and then storm the Capitol and or the White House by any means necessary and cause destruction. We're going to steal some stuff, etc., etc. What left-leaning organization has stolen property from the families of politicians just to create lies and scenarios surrounding them?
The child is 5 or 35, as Sherry Daly was when she disappeared.
Substack, you got a list. TikTok, you got a list. YouTube, nobody has. Oh, it's almost as if racist white people are showing you that the only thing that they are good at is lying.
Is that let's find her. Let's get her back. Let's get her home.
Cell phones were a rarity back then, so Marlene did what she could. You put in a second phone line.
Yes.
Because
I wanted my phone that she knew open.
If you're going to proclaim that you are the best that the world has to offer,
if she called,
why do you always need to lie? Why is there always a lie attached to your greatness, to your superiority? Also, if you are so great, why would you choose to label yourself the color that is void? The color where you must remove everything from it. I mean, it's ironic because you removed your culture, you removed your individuality, you removed your sense of community, you removed your respect, you removed your paying homage to and learning from your elders, you removed your heritage. And you provided a way to easily replace you.
Drove a black Monte Carlo. I went to Ventura High School. There was a street that
You stated that whiteness could not be added to. If something is great, you can always add to it to make it even better. But I guess in the back of your mind, your ancestors already knew. As I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. If white people had such a utopia, white people were doing it so great and could do it for themselves, why did you leave your utopia? Why would you want the headache and the stress of trying to help and save other people? Because according to how you all spew history, no one can do anything for you. So why would you put yourself in a perpetual bind? And why everything you touch had to be fixed by the people that you claim you were coming to fix things for.
Cut and lock up light. Car pulls up as Sherry's getting in her van. Somebody gets out, walks up to Sherry, and puts handcuffs on her.
Not a marked car, so presumably a
Mm.
detective.
Not a marked car, exactly. Presumably a detective.
The detectives are manner
They want to normalize racism so bad. And here's the thing. Some people are like, well, eventually all the racists will die. No, they won't. No, they won't. Because as long as you have that mindset, you're not educating anybody out of racism. As long as you are letting them be the only ones or the majority of people who are showing up to run for school board meetings, to be on the PTO, that are going to parent teacher conferences, that are involved in the curriculum, they will forever exist. And as long as you keep going, well, that's just their mentality, that part of the country, it's going to exist. It's no different than that annoying coworker that can never get fired. And you just keep going, well, that's just how they are. But then you're frustrated, your butt hurt by the fact that there's no change. You're allowing it to be no change.
Hey Matt, how you doing? We walked around the house and looked for signs for it.
Yeah.
But they have a fight. Things are thrown around.
I'm getting to the point where I'm not even going to point out their hypocrisy anymore. I'm just going to ask them, if you're so great and you're so superior, why did your ancestors leave where you came from? And why aren't you holding on to your superior heritage and culture and legacy? Because it seems like the greatness came when you let go of everything and you made yourselves the only people on the planet with no home, no community, and no hope. Because whiteness is removing everything else. So you're no longer Scandinavian, you're no longer Irish, you're no longer Welsh, which means you have no home to go to. You have no culture to celebrate. You have no heritage to draw from. You just have a void to sit in. You didn't put the logic into your argument.
The answer he received that day was more than normal. Did not expect. Coming up.
You took from yourself and you took from your future generations, and that was supposed to be a gotcha on the rest of us. The rest of us that either created a new culture because ours was stripped from us. We didn't give it up for the sake of, y'all didn't even get unity out of it. You just got a label that by definition means void, means emptiness. So you've given up everything: a place of refuge, community, identity, just to sit back and be jealous of the rest of us living collaboratively and collectively and enjoying our heritage and growing in our culture and being able to add to one another. Yes, you've convinced all of us that you're superior. A group of superior beings wouldn't have said, you know what? What we are can be wiped out if you just add the smallest little thing to it. Yep, that's how superior that we are taken down by a drop of anything. Okay? Yeah, we bred all of the diversity out of us. Well, it was just three families. It was just three families that we used. And remember, we're not weak. Okay, so we don't need heritage, we don't need culture, we don't need a homeland. That's for those weaklings. Okay, and anytime they get out of line, we just tell them to go back to where they came from. What do you mean? What if they turn it around on us? Okay, this is our land. Well, I know technically this isn't where we came from, but this is where our identity was established, and it's the only place that our identity exists. Well, yeah, they may refer to themselves as white in other countries, but they they talk about their actual cultures, their ethnicities and stuff. They seem to be having a good time with that. It looks really fun, but we're superior over here because of all we sacrificed. You know, it's kind of like how Christ sacrificed. I mean, I know the book says that he like sacrificed for everybody, but like, did he really? Like, we sacrifice for, well, the potential of being rich one day for the individual. No, I wouldn't give up anything for you. Yeah, we're both white, but I wouldn't give up anything for you. It's not what whiteness stands for. It's like, it's not communal. It's not community. Like, when we get communal, it's because of cult. And you know, it's just to give a name to the cult leader and like give them all the money and, you know, access to all the coitus that they want. Like, that's what we do. That's whiteness, bro. Do you get how racism sounds now? Do you get it?
But the kids too. And so Sherry gave Diana a piece of her mind.
And she told me, just to back off. And she told me about getting mine either. She would fight her for mine.
As always, thank you all for joining me for the Taz Effect. Those in Substack will be working on getting you all the bells and whistles like everybody else, like I had before. But on the page, there is the new logo. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. For YouTube and for TikTok, what do you think?
Sherry, the question was,
Right, nice. Also, do not forget, it is Thursday, so join me back on TikTok later tonight for Chaos Chat, whenever he wakes up and after we go get dinner. So, most definitely, darling, will do. So, once again, don't know why y'all decided to get your news here, but I am so thankful that you do. So, this has been Thursday's episode of the Taz Effect, the daily news in a way you didn't know you could use. And as always, each one teach one, each one reach one. Whether you join me tonight or not, I will see you tomorrow, same time, same place. And it's Friday, so on Friday we get all the news from around social media, so we can woosah and kiki and cackle before we go into the weekend, whether you get the weekend off and you can rest, or if you have to work through the weekend, or you have a combo of both. And also, there have been some updates to the links in my bio. Go and check them out. And there has been new merch that dropped that includes thoughts and prayers with a little extra on there, and the Tassie Farms Remembers merchandise. But each one teach one, each one reach one. Go out and get into some good trouble. But remember, nothing that requires bail in this economy, darling. But make sure you be good.
I mean, motivation would have first been out to